Okay, students, let's talk about star-crossed warriors here so that you'll know what to practice and what to work on. This piece is not too terribly difficult. I don't think it's going to be that challenging for us, okay? It is fast, okay? It's marked 132 here, okay? So, bum 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 bum. Okay, the rhythm does change here in the measures. Dun dun, meet the E. Okay, as you're going along there, but again, not too bad there. Violin 1 part, violin 2. Okay. Okay, a little bit of the viola part, and the cellos and the basses have the same rhythm. It says here, strong march, okay? But again, nothing we haven't ever experienced before. I want to get over here to the middle, because there is some stuff, some new stuff that maybe we have not experienced. It's a little bit different, a couple of different markings here. And so I want to explain them to you. So here in the middle here, andante mesmerizo, outer space, okay? Now, the way we practiced this in class yesterday was to have everyone play the top part, all right, to begin with, just so we would understand it. And how do you know the top part from the bottom part? Let me explain this here a little bit, okay? So when you have notes close together, or when you have notes touching like you do here, okay, obviously this is the same pitch, okay? It's an E in the cellos and an A in the violas. Wait, sorry. Just remind you here that this is the cellos. Oops. Let's make that, sorry. Okay, cellos, and then this is the viola line. When you have this right here where you see the notes touching, those notes start at the same time, right? If the notes, you see this space here, and so you know that that's beat 1, and then this note here starts on beat 2, right? But the fact that they're so close together, okay, get rid of some of this, means that they are starting at the same time. Now, how do you know which part is which? Because in this particular case, it's a whole note, right? And so who's playing what? Well, traditionally, oops, I erased my bass clef there. Traditionally, stems going up, see that stem going up? Okay, so the stem is going up this way, all right? That would be the top, or person closest to the audience would play the stems up part. The person on the inside, or farther away from the audience, okay, because this is divisi, yes, okay, would play the bottom part. So in this case, the stems up notes are the top part, and the other part is the lower part, or the inside part, okay? So the outside person is going to play, so here let's start with the cellos. Right? It's going to go dun-dun, quarter to the dotted half note. The inside person is then going to stay on this note. I'm going to get my highlighter back, sorry. Okay. All right, right there. Maybe I can do this differently here. Okay. Let's try something different here. Okay. Let's call this. Get rid of some of this. Okay. So let's have here the top parts. This is the outside or top is playing this note, right? While the bottom is playing, let's just pick a nice, I don't know, what's the opposite of yellow here? Okay. The bottom part, or the inside person, is playing along this part. Yes? Hopefully the color coding helps, all right? So bottom or inside person just keeps holding that E, okay? Can I get back to the other color there? Okay, while the top part plays, all right, this note. And that's for all of the parts. Eventually, okay, violin 2, okay, we got violin 1 here and violin 2. You're going to do the same thing. Whoops. Outside person or top part is going to play this. Okay, and you have, all right, then the inside person, okay, is going to just hold the D and keep playing. But remember, key to this is that you start playing at the same time because you see those notes touching. Yes? Okay, that means they both start on beat 1. Okay? Other questions that came up were about the not string crossings, the bow changes, okay? We want to stagger the bows, okay? We want to stagger the bows there. Let me just write this in here. That's not big enough. Okay, and then we're just going to write inside, bottom. Hopefully this makes sense here. And this is okay. So when you're looking at it there, okay. Other things that the bowing was what I was about to mention. Just stagger the bows. Okay, stagger the bow changes. Obviously, especially bottom part of cello here. Well, in the top part where you holding, and then holding all the way to here. When we say stagger the bow changes, meaning don't change bows at the same time. Make sure you change bows at different times. And by everybody changing at different times, that doesn't mean take lots of bows. You still want to take very few bows. You still want this long sustained note. Just don't change at the same time as your stand partner is a good rule, okay, to go by there. All right, so that's the first thing is this Divisi section. Now, the next thing here is, maybe we'll get even a different color here, having fun with the colors, is the harmonic. Well, that's a little dark. Let's not have that color. Let's go something like this. Okay, that's better. These harmonics here. Now, I know it looks like violins that you're supposed to play, third finger on the E string and third finger on the A string. But notice, first of all, that it doesn't say Divisi, right? So you're playing both these notes at the same time. Also, you're using a fourth finger, okay? These are harmonics, okay? And everybody where you see the little circle, whoops, switch back, where you see the circle is playing harmonics at the octave, the one that is up high. If you're looking down at your string, okay, I won't attempt to draw an instrument. If you're looking down at your string, it's exactly halfway between the nut and the bridge, exactly half the string length, okay? Right there in the middle, it's the strongest, easiest harmonic to play. And so where this is, okay, violins, this note here, this A, is actually on the D string. So halfway up the D string, that harmonic is the one that we're talking about. And this one is halfway up the G string. And you're going to play them both at the same time, okay? For violas, same thing, okay? This note is the one that's halfway up the G string. Whoops, I think I said that wrong for violins. Hold on, let's go back. Hold on. Violins, I think I said that wrong. Okay. This is halfway up the A string and halfway up the D string. Okay, octave, because it's an A and a D. Forgive me. Okay, so this one is, whoops. This is an A string, A string note, and this is D string note. Okay. Then violas, this G, this is G string note, okay? And this is a C string note, okay? Hopefully that makes sense, okay? Those harmonics there. And they are not divisi. You play them at the same time, barring your finger across the strings, okay? All right. All right, so we got some divisi stuff, interesting divisi stuff going on. We got some interesting harmonic stuff going on. We have one more little effect coming here. Okay, we have some more harmonics coming, but here, cellos, violas, violin 2. This one looks harder than it is. This is actually one of the more simple ones in this little section. And that is that you're going to go here, okay? Make another note down here. You're going to go between these notes, okay? Meaning, you're going to go between, all right, and it actually says flutter fingers fast bar between the two written notes. So cellos, between E and G, it's going to sound like this. You're just going back and forth. Da 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 da. Okay, and you do it for 4 beats. How do I know that? Because of the whole note. Okay, so for exactly 4 beats for a whole note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay, violas, you're going back and forth between the A and the C there. For how long? For a half note. Okay, because we have this half rest here. Then you're going to do it for a whole note. So you're going A and C. Back and forth like this. Violin 2 between the D and the G. All right, so it's like a trill, but a trill just goes up a half step or a whole step depending on the key signature, okay? This is a skip. In the case of the cello and the viola, it's a skip of a third, and in violin 2, it's a fourth. All right, going back and forth between those notes there, okay? Now here we have more harmonics, okay? Harmonics like before, harmonics, 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 all where you see the little circle, okay? And this is a really cool section, and I'm glad I'm showing you this with the score, because you see where everybody's entering at different times, okay? She's trying to create this, you know, atmosphere, okay? Shooting stars, outer space, okay? It's a little hard to understand at first any kind of new modern piece or anything that's different. What I was saying to the class yesterday, when you have a piece like this and it's hard to wrap your head around it at first, you just have to trust what's on the page. You have to trust that the composer is not trying to trick you or fool you. You just, you know, whatever it says to play on beat 1, you play it on beat 1. Or if you're on beat 2 or whatever, you just have to play there until you start to understand how it all fits together. And once you do, it's really cool to play something like this, okay? And the other thing is that it only goes on for 12 bars, okay? Everything else is good old standard, good old playing like we're used to. But for these 12 measures, she's going to do something very interstellar here with the music, okay? All right, you can email me questions, and of course we will go over it when I see, but just so you know what to practice here. And then we get into the agitato here, and it speeds up a little bit, and then we're back to the march, and the music kind of resumes what we know and love, and then back to the strong march tempo of 120, and then there to the end, it's not too bad at all, okay? And one might even call it easy, okay? All right? Hope that helps there with that section. So that's the part I really wanted to go over with you, this stuff here from, it's 44, okay, to 55. It seems more challenging than it is. I think once we just do it a few times, you're gonna go, oh, this is actually kind of easy. Yeah. So it feels hard at first because there's no melody, right? Notice in this whole thing here, there is no melody. Okay, well, this is the melody. And then or whatever, the violas have A, C there, okay? The basses aren't keeping the beat, okay? There's no quarter notes, there's no built-in metronome. It's just all atmospheric stuff, And then the only thing going on here in this section is this business. It's back and forth. It's not any kind of melody that we're used to playing along to, which at first makes it feel hard. But then once you realize it's almost like, you're improvising and just making it up, in just a few short rehearsals, you're going to go, oh, this is actually kind of easy. So, okay. All right. Hope that helps. Email me questions, and I will see you guys soon.